Hey guys, this is Mr. H. Hey, I am going to do a video on solving a quadratic linear system. The primary reason is in the August Regents, they had one quadratic linear system that they wanted us to solve algebraically. So what I want you guys to understand is if you know how to use a quadratic formula, and we do, we can also use a quadratic formula on a quadratic linear system. I'm just going to show you how you need to do this. Now, it's just a very minimal amount of algebra that we need to do, and then we can use the graphing calculator like we normally would to find the intersection. So let me show you exactly what we're doing. They've given us two equations, y equals x squared minus 8x minus 45, which is a quadratic equation. And they've given us another equation, y equals to negative 3x plus 5, which is a linear equation. I'm going to set those two equal to each other since they are both equal to y. They're also equal to each other. So I can do this. And now, once I've done this, I've created a single quadratic equation. Now, I can't use this for quadratic formula until I get the negative 3x plus 5 to the other side, because it has to be equal to 0. So the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to add 3x to this side, add 3x to this side, because that's the like term. I'm going to subtract 5 from this side, and I'm going to subtract 5 from a negative 45 since those are like terms. This is going to be 0. That's what we want. And this is going to be 1x squared. A negative 8 plus 3 is going to be a negative 5x. And a negative 45 minus 5 is going to be a negative 50. All right, so I'm going to write that down here. Now that's the algebra. Well, that's part of the algebra I have to do. The other part is just the A, the B, and the C. The A is 1, the B is a negative 5, and the C is a negative 50. And we're going to plug those in to the appropriate places. Those are both B spots. This is the A spots, and this is the C spot. Now, once we've done this and this, that's all the algebra we're going to do. From here, we're just going to go get the calculator, and we're going to let the calculator do the rest. So let me go here, and I'm just going to enter the original equations, the two original equations they gave us. So the first one was x squared minus 8x plus or minus 45. All right, press enter. So it's a quadratic. Yep, it's a quadratic. I got it here. Now I'm going to do the second one, the linear. It's going to be a negative 3x plus 5. And then I forgot the x, x plus 5. And there we go. So now we have two intersections. So we're just going to do menu 64. And there's one intersection. Then we're going to do menu 64, and we're going to go to the right, pull it left. So those are our two answers. So now, if we were trying to show them that we were doing this algebraically, we would have two answers, x equals a negative 5 and x equals 10. But our ultimate solutions are a negative 5, 20, because that's what they wanted the x and the y for this. So when we go back to iPad, this is what you should have. So like if we use this formula, we're going to get x equals 5 when we do the minus, and then when we use the plus, we're going to get x equals 10. Those are the two solutions, the two roots for this quadratic equation. Now, once we know the negative 5 and 10, we also know the y values. But we don't have to do any more algebra since we have the graphing calculator. All we got to do now is just enter our 2 points. So it's going to be a negative 5 comma 20. That's 1. And then it's going to be 10 comma a negative 25. And those should be our 2 answers. And they said, nicely done. So look, I want you guys to understand, if they give us a quadratic linear system and they say solve it algebraically, all we have to do is set these two equations equal to each other, get the equation equal to 0, and then use the quadratic formula. Once we've done this part, we don't have to do any more algebra. We can go back to just graphing like we normally would and find the intersection. Again, if they don't say you have to solve it algebraically, you could go straight to this and just graph it and just say, I did it graphically. All right. But if they say algebraically, All you're going to do is what we did here. Set the two equations equal to each other. Set it equal to 0 by getting whatever is on the right-hand side over to the left-hand side, and then do the ABC, plug them in here, and you're finished. And then let the calculator do the rest of the work. All right. I just want you guys to understand these are 4-point questions. We can get all 4 points. We need to get all 4 points. All right. I'm going to stop and I'm going to post this. All right, guys.